Hello everyone. You may remember that I had some clump style ash and birch trees, and it was called the 7-trunk ash clump, and unfortunately one of the trunks died, leaving it a 6, which I didn't like, and one hadn't fused, which became this ash tree, which is going to be quite a nice semi-cascade at some point, I believe. But now, just to add insult to injury, this trunk has died off. So now I have a 4-trunk clump. The others are fine. The other ones, I think the one's an 11, one's a 15 clump. And I'm just going to let them grow. 4's not ideal. I don't know quite what I'm going to do with this one. I'm going to prune it back though, because it's getting a bit too tall, and I'm hoping that it might break low down and throw me up another trunk, as it were. So I'm just going to, it's so sunny, I don't know how well you're actually seeing this, it's a bit of a nightmare, but I'm going to cut it back quite hard. Quite aggressively, in the hope that that'll make it buck its ideas up, as the saying goes. Right, I'm going to take this one down to this bud here. And put it back on the bench, and hopefully it may sprout another shoot from down low and become a 5-trunk. Otherwise I may have to lose this side piece here and it'll become a 3-trunk clump. So that's the kind of plan. That's my thoughts at the moment for that. So move that out of the way, and then we can look at this little birch that's growing really well at the moment. I'm thinking I shouldn't even try this until the sun's moved around a little. I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to film it later. Okay, so it's a little better. This is my group of birch, little clump. It was 5 trees, it's now 3 trees fused into one, using a washer to provide holding the trunks together at the base. You'd have to look back in the playlist and you'll see how that was done. I've got a good 6 to 8 inches growth on some of these branches now, so it's time to cut it back, promote a bit of ramification. I have a piece of dead wood just there to trim away, and the rest of the trees look healthy enough. This is my front, and this got this strange branch that's coming up here, and I'm trying to decide whether I want to keep that as the leader from this clump, or whether I want the clump to come out in this direction. I think I want the clump to be more separate, so I think I'm going to lose that entirely, that branch. Come on. I'm actually trying to cut the piece of wire behind it. That wasn't a good idea. I had to destroy your scissors. Okay, so that's come off, and that keeps the centre nice and open. Now I've got 2 choices here. Do I which do I want as my main trunk line? I think I'm going to shorten this right back to here, and hopefully this open bud, outward facing bud, open bud, I do not know what is the matter with my words today. I've been like this since I got up, and having a conversation with people in the park this morning when I was walking Cooper, and Words going all over the place. Most peculiar. Anyway, enough of me rambling on. I'm going to cut this back to here. It does leave that very odd straight piece, but I could wire that perhaps in the autumn if I'm still not happy with it. So I think that's probably all I'm going to do to this particular tree. This piece, I have the beginnings of a rear facing branch here, which could be wired again in the autumn. So I think I'm just going to shorten those pieces back to 2 buds just to get some ramification. And I'm going to shorten this one. I don't really like this branch at all, but I'm going to leave it in place as a sacrifice branch and just let it continue to grow out that way, and then remove it at a later date. It'll help with the overall health of the tree. So I'm going to shorten that to there, and I'm going to shorten this piece to there. So that's 2 of the 3 trees taken care of. It's got some superb movement in this tree, if I do say so myself. I love this sort of odd bend here. Okay, so I'm going to keep this as an outward facing branch, and I'm going to trim it back to there. And there's another piece in behind which can come off to there. Now I could take this as my leader, or lose this entirely and keep this as my leader, but I actually think I want this to come back in slightly, and I'm going to lose it at that point and just shorten these back. It's quite a long internode there, but I'm going to cut back to this bud and see what it does. I don't see much use for this inner branch here, so I'm going to lose that as well. And this piece that's poking straight out towards the viewer can likewise go. Okay, so that's really it for this little birch. Let's give you a quick 360. I'm going to leave this wire on in place for a little bit longer. It's not cutting in yet. Yeah, there's a couple of pieces I'm not happy with because it's too straight. I'm not entirely happy with the front I've chosen for this tree either. I think I may, when I repot it, move it to this position slightly more. Yeah, I think this will be the new front rather than this. So that's it for this set of trees. When we come back and look at them, we'll look at the larger clumps that I've just left growing. I'm not going to shorten them, I'm not going to prune them, I'm just going to let them grow and grow this season. And so we'll come back and look at those at a later date. So thank you all for watching, and as always, please look after yourselves.